Monday warrior, mean cry. Today's time, so you mean cry.
I'll have to remix that. Welcome in, everybody, to the Craft Beer Republic and to 2023. Fuck you, dry January.
What's that?
Yeah. It's wet as hell over here. I am Greg. I am being joined by the Big Daddy Flexi himself. What's up, big fella?
You been a good boy, Greg?
Never.
Oh, naughty Greg.
I made the bad list again.
So fucking weird.
It's so creepy. Apologies to anybody who's still there. And bigger apologies to the Slayeress of Salt, the stupendous salty one herself. Erica, how are you?
Hey, I'm happy to give a finger to dry January with y'all today. So
Yeah.
Suck it.
And we're happy to finger it with you.
Thank you. I would expect nothing less from you two classy dudes.
Right? We are super classy. And if people haven't guessed yet, this is the first official recording that took place in 2023.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly we're on one. So welcome in. Thanks for drinking. Thanks for joining. Lots to get to today. Lots to talk about. We'll catch up with Erica. Erica hasn't been around in a minute, so we'll see what's going on over there. Besides sick children, we have a voicemail from the homie and so much more. Before we get into any of that, I just want to remind everybody, January 13th, that's this Friday, 8 p.m. in the SoCal region. Come out to Pedals and Pints, Thousand Oaks, California. It'll be myself. It'll be Monica, the head brewer, who has been on the show before. And we will be talking about our Guava Goza release. I'm very, very excited. And we'll have some other beers as well. Just, if you're coming in, order the podcast flight. We'll talk about all of them. But the big event is that Guava Goza.
And we're all on pins. I was going to say, we're all on pins and needles to find out what the name is.
You know, I have a list. Maybe I'll run them down later on the show.
That would be fun.
I've got some listener submissions. I've got a few I came with myself. We'll run them down, but we're still looking for names.
Like Guava Brosa. You know, like...
We'll workshop it. Yeah. And I haven't ran any of these by Monica yet, so we'll probably find out that they're all garbage, and she's like, I can't put that on a beer board. So
yeah, you know she already has a name picked out.
I'm sure. She's so much smarter than all of us. So except for Erica. Anyways, before we get into all that, let's answer the most important question of the night.
In a world where craft beer is king, a world where muscles are bigger than growlers, only one tongue can guide us. One man, one tongue, one tongue jobber. In this world, we must find out what is Flex drinking.
More like, what is Flex snorting?
Yeah, if people could only see how weird I actually am.
We should make this a video cast.
Yeah,
probably not, though.
No, I don't need more work.
So today, Flex is drinking a classic from Drekker Brewing Company. It is the King of the Thing. It is an all Citra hopped double IPA. 8.3% ABV. Untapped, over 11,000 check-ins. It is a 4.23. That is hella respectable. And apparently I've had this beer twice before, and I've rated it a 4.5. So let's see if that still holds up. It says, designed to showcase the beauty and splendor of Citra, this beer is built on a mountain of oats and spelt for a decadent and smooth mouthfeel. Bursts with notes of lychee, candied lemon, and peach Bellini. It's royally smooth. I feel like Greg tonight. Like the juice of the highest order. Blah. Too much reading. Now to get the sniffer on in there. Definitely getting some peach on there, some stone fruit. It does smell super duper hopped up. I know we've talked about like that super hop forward smell before, like kind of danky, but not super danky. And then without further ado, we'll enter the old tongue jobber.
Oh, here it comes. Sounds like he's hitting the bong.
Mm-hmm.
That is what that sounded like. On the tongue, it's a lot more dank than it is on the sniffer. a bit of that lemon in there, but all that peach Bellini kind of doesn't exist on the tongue jobber there. So, I mean, this is it's really good. I'm not gonna lie, it's really good, but just not finding too many of those notes that they described, which is kind of a bummer. But still a pretty damn good beer.
Yeah, in a different way.
Yeah, you can't go too wrong with Drekker. I think Drekker's IPAs are not touted enough. It's Drekker fruit fun, fruit fuck orgy sour over there.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, I've had a few of those and I think I'm good, but their IPAs, their hoppy stuff is really good.
It really is. And honestly, what I like most about their IPAs, for the most part, the second you crack the can of them, that aroma spews out immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so pungent. And if you're a fan of hops, which I am, it's something you absolutely love from a beer.
All right, let's dig into some stuff. Suck It Dry January, like I said.
Do you know anybody doing? Is Deb doing Dry January? I can't remember.
Deb is doing Dry January.
Yeah, she was doing something else, like no carb and Dry January or something like that.
No pretzels or beer?
Yeah, like whatever it was sounded like an immediate recipe for suicide.
We need to take turns checking in on her.
That's true.
That's not good.
I haven't heard from her or the intern in a few days. Maybe I should call in a welfare check.
Neither has my mailbox.
Got him. Mailbox is still Dry January as well, huh?
It's pretty thirsty.
I bet. It's been a while since he won that bet. Oh, gosh. Well, since the last time we recorded, we had New Year's. I don't know about you guys. Mine was extremely uneventful.
Same.
It was spent in a hotel room. We did buy a ginormous bottle of champagne and just drank it, the two of us, and watched Miley Cyrus and Dolly Parton sing.
How was that?
It was surprisingly not bad. Like, we got back to the hotel like at 10:30 or something. We were visiting family. I'll get into that in a minute. But we got back to the hotel, turned it on. We started flipping through. Like, there's the Seacrest one and the Miley one. And my initial thought was like, the Miley one's going to suck. It's Miley. Seacrest. So we started with Seacrest. It was real boring. The wife said, why don't we go to the CNN one with Anderson and what's his name? Because last year they got hammered. It was hilarious.
That was hilarious. Yeah.
Really?
It was really funny. So we went over to that one. It was so awkward. Apparently they were told they can't drink this year. And like the only reason they were cool last year is because they were fucking hammered. And so we watched for like 10 minutes. They had the most awkward interview with Kevin Hart. And then they brought on, what's his name? I can't think of his name. Not Anderson Cooper, but the other guy. They brought on his parents to talk. And Anderson Cooper was like, hey, so you've been watching the show? They're like, no, we just got home. Huge delay. Oh, well, where'd you go? Dinner. Okay. Was it something good? Oh, you want us to say the name? Like, it was like classic old people shit. And I was like, oh my God, this is the worst TV ever.
Wow. This is the best they had.
Yeah, please get them some shots. So then we're like, all right, we'll check out Miley. And we first turned on, didn't know who it was. We stuck through an artist, and then Miley came out with like a bunch of different people, and then ended out with like a bunch of songs with Dolly. Surprisingly good. And you know what? Say what you will about Miley. She worked her ass off.
Oh, I mean, she's a good singer. She's a good performer. You can't go wrong with her.
So, surprisingly not bad. Short story long. Surprisingly not bad.
Do you see those? Do you see those memes surfacing about Dolly Parton fans? Or it says like it's hard out there for Dolly Parton fans, and it's the people wearing the I Heart DP shirts.
No, I didn't see that.
Made me laugh.
Oh, that's a Flex approved shirt right there.
So innocent.
Yeah, so innocent. So dirty.
Erica wants to laugh really, really
Trying
bad
not to.
right now.
Trying so hard not to. Yeah.
Guys. Yeah, Miss Miley.
Anybody doing anything fun for New Year's? Erica, you do anything?
We did a family New Year's. Sterling's not into going out on New Year's, so I'm cool with that. Whatever. Do the 9 o'clock feed, but we got that dance on the Switch, the dance game, and that was hilarious. The Just Dance and like the Rasputin and all the different songs. We were jumping around, just being idiots as a family, and that was super fun. The ridiculous part is we were kind of checking in on the countdown, like the 9 o'clock feed. Somehow got it wrong, missed the ball drop, which is like the most depressing thing ever. You're like, what the hell? And the kids are like, what was supposed to happen? Like, so we like go on to like YouTube and try to find a ball drop, like at ball drop, and just be like, count down. We're like, this one was in Sydney 2 years ago, but hey, let's count down. It was so ridiculous. But yeah, there was alcohol and good food and whatever. And we didn't get hit by drunk drivers. So
That's
you gotta
good,
call
yeah.
that. You got to call that a night, I guess.
Yeah, that's super splendid.
Yeah. There's a classic story that Coley likes to tell, and I'm going to butcher it, but her and Big Dick Nick were with a couple of her friends for New Year's one year. And I forget exactly what it was, but like they were watching the ball drop and it happened and they all celebrate and they do like, New Year's drinks and toast and kisses and whatever. And then they're like, what fucking time is this? What's going on? Turns out he wasn't watching live TV. He was streaming a previous year's ball drop.
See? Okay, this happens.
That's like something you do with kids though when they're too young to stay up late. It's like
Right.
8:30 and you go to Netflix and they have like 13 different countdowns you can do for kids. It's exactly what that reminds me of.
basically.
Yeah. It was funny. So Flex, you guys do anything?
It was super low key. My wife put on this stupid amount of like food just for like me, and it was basically me and her because my kids eat next to nothing. They're kids, so they're super picky. So course one was I don't know what it's called. She went down to this Italian grocery store downtown, and I call it kind of like a focaccia bread type dealie, but it was almost like more pizza than focaccia bread. So she got this huge piece for us, split it in half. So that was like course number one. Course number two was like a charcuterie board with like some stuff for the kids. So there was like string cheese wrapped up in salami, some sliced apples, some cheese and crackers. We had some
That's not just kid stuff.
I was going to say, wait, where's the kid stuff?
I mean, like, the
gummy
string cheese
worms?
wrapped
No,
in salami.
I'll eat all that shit.
And then, what else? I'm missing something on the board. I can't remember now. Oh, cheese curds. Did I say cheese curds?
No.
Super Wisconsin thing.
Yeah. You don't get a lot of those out here.
But let me tell you what. So that was course two, and she had the sliced apples, and I've only ever heard of people pairing apples and cheese. Like I've never actually done it.
Apples and brie, man.
What the fuck? That shit is like legit.
Yeah.
Apple, and I think we had like Honeycrisp apple and sharp cheddar.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was like
Fuck
the
yeah.
dumbest thing I've ever put in my mouth. I'm like, why have I not been doing this? Yeah, like why have I not been doing
That
this
would
for
be
the
easy.
last
Craig's got you covered.
20 years or whatever? It was amazing. So that was course two.
Okay.
Then course three was this big old hunk of lasagna again. She got from the Italian grocery store, right?
Okay.
So then that gets split in half.
You've been hanging out with Mel too much.
Dang.
Right? It's like
Now
pasta
the
course
pasta
shit.
course. Yeah.
So we split the lasagna. And at this point, I'm just like bursting at the seams. I've had like 3 beers, 3 courses of meals so far. And now comes the pizza. The pizza from the Italian grocery store, like homemade, whatever from there. And you take it and you bake it. And I'm just looking at this thing. I'm like sweating. I got like the meat sweats at this point. And, but sure enough, oh, and then she also made garlic knots with it too. So it's like, I don't know what the hell she was trying to do, but all the food is great. I felt like a fucking stuffed pig.
I bet.
No wonder you were digging the apples. It was like the only thing that wasn't like cheese carb loading.
fresh on
Like,
that plate.
the apples.
Yeah.
I ate them with bread. I ate them with cheese. More
Yeah,
apples.
so it was more just like a never ending night of food.
Yeah.
I was in bed by
Impressive.
8:30, sleeping by 9.
That was her goal. Let's
Woke
knock
up at
him
1 in
out.
the morning to hit the bathroom.
But at 3 in the morning, actually, I woke up for work at 3 in the morning. And I'm
Oh,
just
God,
like,
it's
oh
coming.
my God, what is happening? And then I quickly recalled I ate an entire grocery store the night before. So
Yeah. Let me Flex, let me blow your mind for a second, not to be Susie Bakes or anything like that, but get a wheel of brie,
okay.
get some green apple, slice it up, put it on top of the wheel of brie, put a little brown sugar on top of that, wrap this thing in like the crescent roll, shit that the Pillsbury stuff. that you pop.
Yeah.
Wrap it in that, bake it slow and low so that the brie gets melty, the apples kind of do their thing, the brown sugar melts down. Chef's kiss. little butter on the outside.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that sounds
So good.
I'm super in for it.
Apples. Yeah. My wife, she makes that every now and then for like Thanksgiving. And just doesn't last long.
I was gonna say, did she just make one for you? And
it's like a kid's first birthday. It's like, here's their cake and here's everyone else's cake.
Right.
So, well, very nice. I'm glad you've recovered from your stuffing of the pig.
I actually finally started feeling better like 2 days ago. Like my body cycle started feeling normal again.
We'll talk about horrible food. I don't know if it was last episode or the one before that. We were talking about your cannibal sandwiches.
Yeah, they're delicious.
Yeah, where it's like steak tartare, but not even.
But yeah,
citrus.
no, it's like ground.
Right.
Ground beef. Like high grade ground beef and onions and salt and pepper and on rye.
Yeah. Well, Davis, listener Davis, who lives in Colorado but is from Wisconsin, he texted me and said, I concur with Flex. Cannibal sandwiches, lots of exclamations. I've never heard of someone getting sick. My family and extended family would do them. The key is definitely to get the meat from a good butcher. And when he goes on to say one last thing, my 18-year-old son was refused at 2 different bars because he was both too old and too young. One in Manitowoc and one in Eau Claire. So
Eau Claire.
Okay. That's my favorite.
That's where Bob Seger wrote "Turn the Page."
Oh,
he was camping in Eau Claire, and that's when he wrote that song.
That's my favorite of that law in Wisconsin, where like parents can buy drinks for minors, but not for adults. So from 18 to 21, you can't.
I mean, it's really on like bartender's consent. Like it's whether or not they're up for it or not.
Whether or not someone's been in recently to check on their survey.
Right.
So anyways, thank you, Davis, for sending that in for making Flex feel better.
Yeah, I actually love it a lot. I'm glad that you reached out. Thank you, Davis.
Yeah. He also said he did this thing called beer poking, and I never heard of it. I don't know, Flex, do you guys do beer poking where like you heat a stick and put it in beer?
So I've never done it in Wisconsin, nor have I known anybody who's done it. But I know this became a trend either last year or 2 years ago, where you would go to breweries and they would stick like a hot poker in like a dark beer, and it's supposed to caramelize all the sugars and whatnot.
We were
and
gifted a beer poke.
Yeah,
never used it though because
it's like a real thing.
Yeah,
Feels
someone's
weird.
like, because we like to camp, so they're like, here's I don't think that's what it was called, but something like that, like this big rod that you fire up and then pop in.
Yeah, it is.
It is like fire up the rod and just pop it right in. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, so we just haven't gone there. You know what I'm saying?
I would. You got to try it at least once.
It's still in the box, everyone. It's still in the box.
Yeah, it is.
It's one of those shows. All we need now is Deb to pop in and start talking about dicks. Don't forget debsdicks.com.
Yeah, it's a legit thing.
Oh, it is. All right. And then we did take a little trip, as I alluded to. We took a little trip. So let me before I get into the trip, let me start off with my beer, because it does have a little bit to do with the trip. Let's see. I don't have a song, so let's do this.
It's raining hops.
It is indeed. So the first night we got into NorCal, we needed something to do, and we found a brewery. It's called Four Legs Brewing. Very dog themed.
You know what they say? 4 legs are better than 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll remember that.
That holds up.
when I'm poking beer.
Yeah, 4 eyes are better than 2. You guys not wear glasses? Come on.
We do not.
Nope.
You never got called 4 eyes, and the comeback was 4 eyes are better than 2?
No, I was a cool kid.
God damn it.
First of all, no one's going to fuck with some chick who's 5'12". So
right? Just don't. I'll squash you.
Yeah,
well,
call her 4 eyes and see what happens.
Guess I'm just a fucking nerd.
Yeah, and I don't know about Erica, but my eyesight is top notch.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, so no glasses necessary. Then my parents is horrible, so eventually mine's going to go. But
I'm just going to sulk in the corner. Tell your story.
Right. Yeah, we'll be back in a minute.
Four-legged brewery.
Yeah.
NorCal, what? You went to NorCal? You didn't call us up? Yeah, go ahead, Greg. Keep going.
I really wanted to. We weren't near. We were like an hour and a half from Sacramento, though.
That's kind of far, though. Okay,
and
keep going.
I even looked it up. We're even further from where you are. Like Sacramento was slightly closer than so.
That's 2 hours.
I was given instruction
not near.
not to.
Yeah, that's cool.
One of my coworkers lives up north. He's like, "Why didn't you call me?" I was like, "Man, it was mostly a family trip. Like, it would not have worked out." So,
doesn't that ever bother you when you go somewhere for a certain thing and people are like, "Oh, hey, Like, I'm here, and it's like,
Yeah.
2 hours
but
away.
it's like,
2 hours away.
but it's like we have like a thing to do. It's like
Yeah.
we're there for a thing.
Right. We were there for a very specific thing. So luckily the first night I had no specific thing and we needed to find something to do. We had the dog with us, so we needed something dog friendly, which almost all breweries ever are dog friendly. And this one, of course, was because it's Four Legs Brewing. We had no idea what to expect. We got there. Beer was pretty damn good. I brought home some cans. The one I brought home was not my favorite of what they had, but it was my favorite of what they had in cans. So it's still good. It just, they had one on tap that was top notch that they did not can. I am drinking from Four Legs Brewing, repeated exposure, 6.8%, has a 3.95 on Untapped, which is pretty respectable for a very tiny brewery. And they say this hazy has a hint of tropical fruit to make for the perfect hazy balance. Dry hopped with Citra, Mosaic, and Idaho 7. Very short. Very tropical on the schnoz, like some pineapple or something coming through. Maybe a little bit of peach. The taste really follows that. A lot of tropical, a lot of, sound like Scott, a lot of tropical, a lot of hops.
It tastes like beer.
It's a
Yeah.
beer.
It's beer. It's got a lot of pineapple. I get a lot of pineapple. I get a little bit of peach on the tongue. The pineapple seems to be what I get the most. A little bit of, not quite sure, maybe like a mango or something. I'm having a hard time, but it finishes off pretty dank, especially for a hazy. So it kind of cleans up nicely. So
What's that mouthfeel like?
it is pretty damn soft.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's one thing that a lot of places don't nail on a hazy, like a lot of smaller places, is that soft mouthfeel. They nailed it. So big ups to them. All right, so that was Four Legs. Then we moved, after we finished with our specific purpose that we were there on the trip, we moved over to Santa Cruz for a couple days, which was the couple days that they got absolutely fucked from the rain. We went to, we went to two breweries that were really bad, so I won't say their names. But then we went to Humble Sea Brewing.
Hey-o.
Yeah, which was fantastic. But it was the day that the rain was picking up. And here's the thing, like, we're from California and people don't do rain well, but we didn't realize how not well they don't do rain. And in Southern California, we also don't give a shit because every time they say it rains, it never actually does. Right. So we get to Humble Sea, we walk in like 2 something. And they're like, oh, just so you know, we're closing at 4 because of the storm. I was like, what? Closing at 4 because of the storm? We're like, yeah, it's going to get pretty wet out there. I was like, is there something we should know? Like, should we not be around here or what? Like, I don't know. It's going to be pretty bad. And, you know, if you got to travel, the roads are going to get pretty bad. I was like, okay.
What do you mean? I'm sorry. I'm not from California. How do roads get bad from rain? Is it
as it turned out, like a ton of washouts have happened in the last week. But up until that point, I was with you. And so at 4, they closed. We walked around the corner. We found this place called Santa Cruz Mountain Brewing. And we're like, are you guys staying open? Like, oh, yeah, we're totally staying open. I was like, all right, so you're normal. So we were drinking some beer. And, I mean, it's pouring. We're outside, but they have like a very enclosed patio because we have the dogs. We couldn't go inside. And it's pouring. We're on our 2nd or 3rd round. And all of a sudden, the power goes out. I was like, oh, this is why they're closing early. And but they were prepped. They brought out lanterns and put lanterns on everyone's table.
Get
and they were still
right out
beer.
of town. That's
amazing.
awesome.
Yeah, their
They didn't
iPad
kick
was
you
on
out.
like cellular data for charging. So they just kept going. They're like, we're here till the iPad dies.
That's
So,
badass, dude.
Yeah. So it's about time to eat. So we had like another round and went and found dinner and went back to the hotel. And then after Santa Cruz, we spent a couple of days in Paso. Did not do a lot of beer drinking, but did a ton of wine drinking. And then on our way back home, we stopped by There Does Not Exist for some research.
I did see that.
Yeah.
I did see you do that.
I almost had to beat up a guy in the parking lot because I was looking at their can list before I ordered. And I was like, all right, I'm going to order something they have in cans so I can bring it home. And they only had 1 IPA in cans. So I ordered that. And then I went to check out. And I was like, all right, I want a 4-pack of this one. They're like, oh, we just sold our last 4-pack. And I was like,
Oh,
who the fuck was he? Can I go beat him up? She was funny. She's like, he's probably still in the parking lot. He just left. I was like, I'm about to go kick his ass. So that sucked. But
Sir, I will pay you double for what you just paid for that.
Starting like a treehouse situation
Oh,
over here.
jeez.
So anyways, but the beer is still great over there. It Does Not Exist. So that was our long trip. It was like 10 days total. And I'm so glad to
Dang.
be home.
Holy shit, that's too long of a
it's
trip.
legit. Yeah.
It was a lot of driving and, you know, we drove everywhere. So I'm glad to be home. I have to go stay somewhere overnight tomorrow night for work. I'm like, oh, fuck. Can we just do it like next
be
week?
home.
I
Yeah.
missed my bed so much and laundry's stacking. But
laundry sucks. I'd say a long trip for me is like 3 days.
I haven't taken 10 days off. Definitely not since COVID. We were trying to rack our brains. We're like, when's the last time? And I can't remember the last time the wife and I have taken 10 days off. The most I could come up with was 7. So I think this might be the first time since working at my current place / being with my wife.
Dang.
It's impressive.
10 years. So
I hope it was worth it.
Yeah.
it had its ups and downs. It was hard to go on a trip when it's pouring half the time.
Yeah,
but,
the weather wasn't so nice.
Yeah. So.
We lost power too. So apparently you were dealing with it at the same time, huh?
Yeah. Luckily, our hotel did not. So we were
good
there.
You
So
could flush your toilets.
Yeah. I know. You texted me, you said you couldn't flush your toilets because the power was out. I was like, this does not compute with me.
Yeah.
Water still works. What the fuck is wrong?
Country living.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you plug in your toilet? What the fuck? Is it because you have a bidet?
Yeah.
My mind was blown.
We have cordless toilets in Wisconsin. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
Ever
they
since
like
the
to live a
80s.
little differently. You know? When they're plated in gold, you got to plug them in. It takes too much power to get them going.
Fuck,
I'm just
that's
saying.
awesome.
That's true.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, good times. So, luckily, we haven't lost power down here. As you can tell, we're still recording. So,
We're all
if the
right.
show shuts off abruptly, you know we've lost power. It is fucking pouring. I don't know if you guys can hear it at all, but like the rain keeps being blown into my window, and it's like,
No.
okay.
No, I
Thankfully,
can't hear it. I can hear the turtles doing it, but I can't hear the rain coming through
The
the
turtles are not currently fucking this time. So, all right. Very good. We got a voicemail from Chew. We got some news to get through. But before we do all that, let's make a call to the pen and find out what the slayeress of salt is drinking.
He calls to the bullpen for
beer.
Hey, guys. So I'm the Slayeress of Salt because that was the best Avenger name I could come up with. Because today I am in honor of Flex drinking Avenger, which is,
that shit's tight.
I mean, it's pretty cool. It's a Wonder Woman-esque kind of chick flying.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty sweet can art.
Yeah. And this is by Loomis Basin Brewing Company, which is the closest one to my house. And I live in a small ass town of 7,000-ish people.
Wow, that's
So it's
smaller
like-
than what I live in. Mine's like
Is it?
14,000. Yeah, I thought that was
Yeah.
small.
Pretty small town. So this is our local brewery. And I was hanging out at the bar the other day and tried this and actually kind of dug it.
Dang.
It's also a double. We know Erica loves doubles.
Yeah, we love
Look
that
out.
when she's had doubles.
So it's
Here
almost
come the
gone.
giggles.
So I left a couple sips for my review. So this is Avenger by Loomis Basin Brewing Company. There is a conflict from the can to the Untapped. The can says it's 8.7%. Untapped says 9.4. Somewhere in between. Either way, feeling pretty good. 70 IBUs.
Yeah.
Yeah. This beer is a beauty to behold, just like a sunset on a warm spring day. Big, billowy, off-white head that you could probably float a dime on, and a nose of dried apricot. Or apricot. Depends on who you are.
Apricot. It's apricot. We decided it.
Fresh floral hops and spruce. The hops roll over the tongue, keeping the bitterness firmly in place. This lovely brew makes a statement. Don't fear the Avenger. So it says, United we stand, drunken we fall. That's pretty hilarious.
That's legit. I like
And
that.
true.
Kapow, yeah.
Kapow.
So,
so subtle. Kapow,
Totally.
yeah.
kapow, everybody.
It's like Lightning McQueen over there.
And it is very passion fruit on the nose. It's very like seductively passion fruit. It's very nice aroma. I did have a nice billowy head when I poured it like an hour ago, but
How dare you?
it's warming up and it starts nice and fruity, passion fruity. And it's got a really solid bitterness at the center, which wanes and kind of leaves you wanting more.
Nice.
So it's great. You just keep coming back to that double, and I'm cool with it.
Nice.
So good job, Loomis Basin. Oh, and it's 3.71.
is it
on
more
the
like
tap.
West Coasty than it is hazy double?
Yeah, definitely.
Because I tell you what, I love that passion fruit coming out of those West Coasts.
Yeah, it's
West
a nice
side.
balance for all that bitter hop, and then the passion fruit. It's a great combination. I forgot to say it was 3.71 on Untapped. I would give it higher. I think that's not very generous, but sometimes maybe with like a double, people
Or
that can't
especially
handle
something
their-
that's not a hazy.
Yeah.
right
People
for those
are like,
haze boys.
yeah,
you know?
they order double IPA and they get it and they're like, wait, this isn't a juice bomb. This
Right.
isn't what I ordered.
right.
Well,
But
with
this
the
is a
whole
respectable one.
alcohol discrepancy, they legally they can be 0.5 of a percentage off in either direction of what the
interesting.
can says. So there's a chance that they were a little off, but they had already printed the can
Maybe.
and they corrected it on Untapped, or
Nice.
some idiot
Vice versa.
changed it on Untapped and they're wrong.
Right.
So
9.4 is pretty high. But yeah, it's a good one.
Dude,
And it's
9.4 is
nearby.
that's awesome. I wish it was 10, but I'll take 9.4.
Yeah, right? It's cool. Way to represent, Loomis.
Very nice. Well, nothing wrong with a local brewery coming in hot.
No.
And I had quite a few
Yes.
West Coasts today.
Did you?
And I
Just a few?
Yeah, I had 3.5.
Oh. Because you knew we were hanging out with the West Coast
But
folks.
don't
today.
tell my wife. I actually tried
She'll never know.
Flex only had one.
a West Coast brewed with terpines,
Oh.
and it was like crazy fucking like pine sol smelling, and then like super pine forward, like you had like pine needles in your mouth on the old tongue jobber. It was wild.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
it's from that cannabis family.
I was going to say, is
Yeah.
that from cannabis? Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
in parentheses it said like blackberry kush something or another, but in the menu. But yeah, I got to try a little bit of it because I went to order a glass of it, and the bartender was like, "Hey, do you want to? It's kind of weird. Do you want to have a sample before you try it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess I will." And I did, and I said, "Hey, wow, that's different."
Not for
then
everybody.
then I ended up ordering another Westie,
Yeah.
but yeah, that shit was crazy. It was the first time I
Cool.
ever had that.
That's fun. I always like trying that stuff. So, all right. Well, like I said, the homie Chew Your Beer called in.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's mad about this time.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hey, yo, what's up, Craft Beer Republic? Chew Your Beer here. It's raining outside. I'm in my truck, and I figured I'll send you this quick little voicemail, homie.
Quick.
You know, it's raining. I wear Dickie shorts, and I wear high socks, homie. And I don't want to get my socks wet, Holmes, because the higher the socks, the downer the fool. So check it out. For some reason, Flex, I keep thinking you work at Sprouts, homie. And I think I'm right or wrong. But if I'm right, welcome to the familia, homie. My brother is a store director for a Sprouts out here in North Hills. And my son is a night crew employee for the Sprouts in Burbank, homie. So welcome to the familia, Holmes. My brother's
I'll
been with
pretend I
Sprouts
work at
since
Sprouts.
Right.
before Sprouts was
Might get some
Sprouts. It was
special
Henry's,
protection.
homie. He's a day oneer, and he's the guy that goes around to different states and opens new Sprouts, Holmes. So sprout your legs, Holmes, those big ass thighs you got. Orale, so Greg, you were talking about
So
the
random.
pepper, that
So random.
con hops and hominy beer we made, homie. The peppers we used were 2 chile guajillo, which is not a spicy pepper. It's more of a flavor pepper, and it adds color to whatever you're cooking, especially in Mexican cuisines. So we used 4 of those, and we de-seed it, and then we used 2 chile árbol, and we de-seed those as well. And the chile árbol is mainly used for spicing your food, homie. So if you really hate somebody, you give them one of those, Holmes. You roast it, and then you don't take out the seeds, Holmes, and then you take a bite. So chile de árbol, funny thing, homie, chile de árbol is everywhere, but in Mexico, that's what they call it. So if you ever had compound chicken, that's chile de árbol. You ever had orange chicken? That little thin pepper that they roast or they fry up in the oil to add aromatics to your food. Yes, Chew Your Beer is a fucking chef, homie. I chef it up, Holmes. So that same chile is the same one across the fucking country. The world, homie. Latinos, Mexicans, we tend to use it as we roast it instead of fry it, and other countries that use the frying method. But that's the same fucking pepper, homie. We use 2 of those too. So next time we brew con hops and hominy, maybe we add 4, Holmes, because it wasn't that peppery, but I think 4 no seeds, I think would be in good. And then the guajillos, we triple that and make it 8, Holmes.
Hell yeah.
Just so we can add some
Hard pass.
tinge color to that. And I think we
Tinge
should
that
steep it a little
shit.
bit longer, Holmes.
What do you
the
triple to
guajillo,
make
not
8?
the árbol.
The
To
math.
add that extra color, homie. A question to you, Greg, would be, I've noticed like home brews, they start getting gray. I know that's not a bad sign, but it does throw people off. When you look at the beer, Holmes. I drank my last bottle of con hops and hominy that we made, and that fucking beer Looked like I was drinking fucking breakfast gravy, Holmes. But it's still good, still beer, and it still got me buzzed. That's it. So there you go. Sorry to make this long. I wanted to make it short, but that's the way life goes. Homies, chew your beer here.
He's not sorry.
He's not sorry. Yeah, true. You're not sorry.
Yeah.
And we're okay with it.
Yeah. Do you work at Sprouts, Flex?
No, I don't work at Sprouts. I don't even know what Sprouts is.
All right, it's a grocery store out here in California.
It sounds like a daycare.
That's what I thought the first time I heard it too. Like I thought it was some kids thing.
Yeah.
Everybody come around to Sprouts.
Yeah.
But if they come out with one out here, I'll work at it.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
then you get
part of
that
the Chew
beer
fam.
protection.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
And then as far as the gray homebrew thing is concerned, that's two things. First of all, it's oxidation. But I think what you have over there is the last couple bottles that came off the keg had some chunkers in them, some floaters, because at the bottom of the keg is where you know, all the sediment kind of
everything.
falls out.
Yeah.
You know,
Gravity.
it's like the last 2 or 3 bottles had some chunks in them just because that's the way it is, and I don't have a filter. Everything as it gets cold, especially, drops down in a lager, and so you're good because the way my keg is set up, a lot of kegs they have a dip tube that goes down towards the bottom. I have a floating tube that floats on top of the beer, and that way it stays clear all the way until you get towards the bottom. And then you get a ton of chunks. So like the last couple glasses are that breakfast gravy.
Yeah.
So it's oxidation, and with your case specifically, Chew, it's the oxidation of all the leftover trub from the brewing process that was at the bottom of the keg.
So you would call yourself maybe like an unfiltered gentleman?
Oh, that's a throwback for
how dare you?
We're a more inclusive group these days.
Unfiltered gentle beer. So like I still have a couple bottles. I saved like 3 or 4 bottles to give out to people, and so I looked at them before we started the show. They're clear AF, and they haven't started to chunk up yet. So actually, I did have one that chunked up, and it had a bunch of sediment at the bottom. So it's from having the sediment and all that good stuff. It's also because I bottled off of a keg, so there's a little more air involved. Had I bottled and bottle conditioned, it probably wouldn't happen to those chunkier beers quite as quickly. I
feel like you're getting super defensive about this.
No, I'm just explaining. I don't care.
I just can't wait till you brew it again with all these peppers.
Yeah, it's gonna. I don't know. Also, Erica perked up when he said this, but I don't know how you triple something and come up with 8. So
I don't know. That was hilarious. And Chew your beer should be chewing his freaking beer. You know, he needs some like sediment. He needs some gray.
Like
he needs something chunky. You know, so that's just setting him up for success, given his name. But
right, I did it for you,
love
Chew.
the guy, right?
Extra chunks just for
saying.
Chew.
I am craving some Kung Pao chicken now, though.
Yeah, but those peppers, I hate those peppers. I mean, I like the flavor, but like you can't eat them. They taste like they feel like plastic,
and they're so hot.
Yeah.
Oh man.
The spiciness doesn't bother me, but like
the spiciness bothers me big time.
Yeah. I like the flavor they give off. So, anyways, 805-53. Jesus, I just forgot our phone number. 805-538 beer. 805-538 beer. 2337 is the number to call. If I got it right. A few news stories to get through. First, we've been talking about the last few weeks. A lot of breweries closing down with the new year. 2 more we didn't mention, and those are Southern California breweries. Mumford Brewing, which I really like, and I'm sorry to hear that they're closing, along with King Harbor Brewing. King Harbor, I thought, actually was pretty decently sized. They did they did some collab brews with, like bigger brands. Like they brew Adam Carolla's IPA, or at least they used to. I don't know. I stopped listening to Adam Carolla, but they did like his beer and stuff. So, interesting, unfortunate. Like I said, I think 2023 might be the reckoning of.
But do you think that's a product of saturation?
To some extent, yeah. I think it's a product of the economy and the cost of beer making and saturation. But I've been saying all along, like, well, you got to be good to stay open. But Mumford, they make some good ass beer, so that's unfortunate. Sad. They don't have a great location. They're in downtown and not a great part of downtown LA. Like I would go pick up some beer, I would never hang out.
Got it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. There's probably not as many bailouts now, too, which I get. Like they were helping people out and stuff and helping out breweries, but now it's like, okay, they can make us last another year. And like, okay, here we are. It's 2023.
Yeah,
fight or flight. So
I feel like if they could get themselves a good location where people might hang out and maybe get some food going to, they do really well. So
food is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys do like a lot of food trucks in California. If that's a big thing. Yeah. Okay. Because that's become a huge thing out here too. And if you don't have a kitchen at your brewery, you better have, especially on the weekends, like a food truck running like noon to 8 or 9.
I will say Britt over at Naughty Pine is really good. She has a food truck almost every night of the week and keeps them coming. So yeah, it makes it easier because you don't want to go like, oh, I'm going to have 2 beers and then go have dinner. I want to do it at the same place.
Yeah, like, hey, I'm going to go here to have dinner and have beers.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel for all the breweries that like a lot of those food trucks ass out on them. I don't know if you guys noticed that. And it's like they're really relying on having that there. And so I'm sure the good breweries snag all the reliable ones, but you'll see like so-and-so pizza is not coming today. And it's like, oh, suck.
Yeah. And during COVID, a lot, at least down here in Southern California, like, well, I think in California in general, you couldn't open a brewery without food. Like during, as COVID was sort of unlocked.
Oh, that was like a COVID rule?
It was a COVID rule. You had to serve food. And not even food. You had to serve a meal. So it couldn't be like beef jerky. It had to be like actual food. So
that's where the Hot Pocket came in.
Yeah, exactly. And ramen. So breweries were partnering with food trucks. And if they ditched them, they couldn't open that day legally.
Dang.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Roadhouse Brewery Group has officially closed their deal to acquire Melvin Brewing Company. I'm sure if you haven't heard of Melvin, you've at least heard of one of their beers, 2x4, which was heavily promoted by Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Never had it.
Hey-o.
Isn't a Melvin kind of like a wedgie? What's a like?
Yeah,
I
think you're right.
A Melvin?
I've never heard that.
Is it the wedgie over the head?
Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
It's or maybe
Someone's
it's just a regular wedgie.
One.
Oh, I haven't heard that before.
Funny name
Greg's
for
got
brewery.
fast fingers. Greg, get the fast fingers going.
Look up the Melvin, man.
What
is a Melvin a wedgie?
Have to do with
maybe it came from The Simpsons, right? Like
that. I don't know. I feel like it's even before that. It's just like a thing.
It's a thing.
Here we go. The Melvin is a variant where the victim's underwear is pulled up from the front to cause injury or at least severe pain to the victim's genitals.
Oh, there you go.
Thanks, Wikipedia.
I just wouldn't want to name my brewing company Melvin, but I guess
it just makes me think of Doug Melvin.
Who's
Doug Melvin?
He was like the manager of the Brewers and the pod. Doug Melvin? No, GM. Fuck, you know what? He had something to do with the Brewers.
All right.
Okay.
Good time.
All right.
Take that out. Right now.
That's
Edit
cool.
point.
Yes.
Fuck you, Dry January. Athletic Brewing is to invest 7 figures in media ads behind giving Dry a try for January.
It's a lot of money for one
Do they brew NA beer?
1/12.
Yeah, all they brew is NA beer, and they have a lot of
I see.
athlete investors.
Gotcha.
Hence Athletic Brewing. Yeah.
We'll send it over to Deb for January.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Deb.
Yeah, enjoy and please don't kill yourself. Labatt, here we go. Any Canadian friends up there? Labatt adds a fruity twist to their non-alcoholic beer segment. They're coming out with NA Strawberry Acai.
Pass.
Yeah, so if anybody feels like throwing up.
I'm telling you what, if I'm doing any kind of Canadian beer, it's dildo or bust.
That's right.
Yes.
Freaking dildo.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I wish I could get some of that. That would be fucking awesome.
I know. How can we make that? It would be easier if they were in the States for like shipping.
At least a
purposes.
shirt.
Correct. Yeah, that's what it is. Like the whole shipping issue. Like I wish
Erica,
I could.
we're gonna need you to go up to Canada.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Go
go.
up to
I'll
Canada.
Get in the van. We'll make the drive.
Get some dildos. Get beer.
I haven't even taken the prod out of the box, you guys. You might be talking to the wrong person. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm up for an adventure, so.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Road trip, yes.
Road trip.
That's quite the road trip for you.
We should all road trip to Canada for Dildo Brewing, and that'll be like our warm up for
Before
our
GABF.
No, for our Finland World Tour.
Oh, Finland. Okay, right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense because yeah, I like
How's
it.
Finland these days?
They're still topping charts.
Still going strong.
Yeah.
Freaking love Finland.
Love those guys. They're the
I
best.
just wish we would find out why because I'm pretty sure it's a mistake.
Yeah, I think Apple just like forgot how to count or something, but we're still topping those Apple charts.
I think they're getting like the
That's a
latitude,
glitch.
longitude confused at some other area, and they're like, "Oh yes, we'll just keep saying that Finland really likes these guys."
right, because we've already started, so let's just keep going. And this one comes from the previously mentioned Davis, who was from Wisconsin. He said, he sent the story. He said, apparently this happened back in September, but this is news now because the guy was just convicted. Man accused of burglarizing Brewers clubhouse.
Yeah, this just came out, yes.
A man passed out in the bushes outside the Milwaukee Brewers stadium after a game, and upon awakening, entered the team's clubhouse and stole electronics, a credit card, team memorabilia, and other items. The 25-year-old man was charged December 14th with felony burglary. The complaint says the man attended a September 8th doubleheader against the Giants at Milwaukee's American Family Field.
Blech.
The Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. Just like I can't call Staples Center or Crypto.com Arena. It's too fucking long.
Just call it Miller Park. Just call it Miller Park. Everybody does.
Yeah. He said he drank at least 10 beers, passed out, woke up, and got back inside the stadium by pulling on a door until it opened. First of all, 10 beers, lightweight. He found his way to the clubhouse and started taking stuff from the locker. A team strength coach said items taken from his office included a laptop, iPads, headphones, a passport, and a credit card. A jersey and a shaving kit were taken from manager Craig Council's office. And an equipment manager said that a game-used hat, an autographed bat, a 45-year anniversary 1982 signed bat, a replica World Series ring, and keys to the team's Arizona spring training facility were stolen from his office.
What the shit?
2 game jerseys and a bag with baseballs and pitching devices were taken from the coach's locker room. I want to know how he fucking carried all this stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It sounds like more than one guy passed out in a
Full
bush.
set of luggage? Like, just, yeah.
And nobody pulls on it. Nobody pulls on a door until it opens. Because if a door is locked, you can pull on it as much as you want.
Right.
It's not going to fucking open.
Right. I give it 2 pulls and I'm done.
There's more to the story.
So there's an inside guy. Or multiple inside guys.
Good call, Flex.
The man then ordered an Uber to take him home. His roommate, Rat, told detectives that the man showed up early on September 9th with a duffel bag stuffed with a Brewers memorabilia. Investigators recovered most of the items from the man's apartment. I'd love to know if they recovered the keys to spring training facility.
Right?
Yeah.
That would be
What was
wild.
left in the Uber? What does the Uber driver have?
Taking vacation until they go down to spring training and then you just leave.
Right. That'd be great. Anyways, Brewers, get your security act together. What the fuck?
Seriously.
Right? Dude,
guy
pulled
took
on
his
a
time.
door until it opened.
Right.
And I'm
That
pretty
only
sure it's only because it's called American Family Field now. If it was Miller Park, there's no way he's getting in there.
No, it'd be much more secure.
Yeah, and has anybody just pulled on a door and like, hey, look at that, it worked?
No, that's like some movie shit, like some made up fucking movie shit.
Inside job.
Dude, I pull on so many doors. God damn it.
We know you pull on knobs, but
I think Erica nailed it. Pulling on knobs, not doors. Yeah, I'm just going to start walking around and pulling on doors now and see what happens.
Yeah, it's like if it opens up, then it's like you're just allowed to go inside.
I guess so. I don't know.
So stupid.
So stupid. I almost forgot. So let's run down this real quick. I promised to give the names of the Goza that we've come up with so far. So Vanessa. Hi, Vanessa.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey, girl. Ooh, 2 creepers in a row.
Yeah.
That was really, you thought that was creepy? I thought that was
Super
like,
creepy. I got goosebumps, dude.
well, that was because it was sexy.
Yeah, I got goosebumps
is
too.
that
but
what
they
that
weren't
is?
creep bumps.
I'm
yeah.
super confused.
Yeah.
By
the way,
double.
if there's one
It's the
from me in
double.
there, Greg, do not say it came from Erica. Just be like, someone. Okay, go ahead.
Did you send me one?
I think I did.
Oh shit!
Okay,
I didn't write
that's
it down.
perfect.
I'll have to go
Perfect.
back
Okay.
through. Sorry. Apologies.
Nope. Good.
You can say it.
Forgot it.
I'm gonna start looking through my phone. Vanessa says Guava Isal.
Okay.
By the way, it's Real Beer Vixen on the gram. Her husband, the Real Beer Bastard, we were talking and going back and forth, and I said, I'm fresh out of ideas for a name. And he said, call it Fresh Out of Ideas. Not the
I
worst name in the
kind of
world.
like that. Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah. Pablo sent a couple. He said, there she goes. And then he said, que guava, which, thank you for the explanation, is a play on the Spanish phrase, que hueva, or a hueva. I don't claim to speak
Like an
Spanish.
egg? What's a hueva?
Huevos.
Well, not huevos.
Oh.
See,
But it's a Hispanic, or he said, which is Hispanic to say, not today, I'm feeling lazy.
Oh.
So I was like, all right, not bad.
Okay.
And then my favorite that he submitted was, and this, if anybody is a wrestling fan from the 80s and 90s, the Road Warriors, the beginning of their entrance music was What a Rush. And he said Guava Rush. And I got really excited for that.
Guava Rush.
Exactly.
So good.
Lord.
The wife says Guava goes for a ride because they're bike themed.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the
And
bike theme.
Here are the 4 I've come up with that I'm very embarrassed to share. As a Ludacris fan, I came up with Every Day is a Guava Day. Every day is a holiday.
That's not bad.
We were listening to some emo stuff, and I know Monica, as well as Britt, loves the emo music. So instead of all the small things, Guava small things. Real bad. I was just writing these down as we were driving home, though. Sugar where goes it down.
I like that a lot.
Oh, okay.
I like that one a lot.
And then this is a little bit of a nod towards Erica, but mainly Seinfeld. These guavas are making me thirsty.
Okay. Yeah.
Because there's salt in there.
Is there salt in there? Oh, I found mine. Greg's Gear Grinding Guava Goza.
That's right. I knew it had to do something with a bike.
Bike. Gear Grinding Guava Goza. Okay, go back like 3. What was that one?
Who was it from?
You guys in the car?
Oh, Every Day is a Guava Day?
Sugar where goes it down.
Yeah.
Sugar where goes it down.
I like that one a lot.
I like that one.
Sugar where it goes it down.
Yeah. That's
And who
not an easy
doesn't
one
like
to
Fall Out
name,
Boy?
though. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Everybody does. So please submit your names.
Please, for the love of God, submit some more names.
I like Erica. The only thing I dislike about it is it makes me think of coffee.
Because the grind word. Yeah.
I think, honestly, my favorite is Guava Rush, but I doubt
Guava
Monica's a wrestling fan from the 90s, 80s, 90s.
Well, then how do you put LOD on the can?
Right.
Or with every
listening.
purchase, you get a pair of spiked shoulder pads.
Hell yeah.
Oh my God.
Free face painting the night of the live show.
Oh my God.
It could all work really well together.
Hey, Monica, if you're listening, if you agree to call it Guava Rush, I will paint my face like the Road Warriors.
Oh,
that would be amazing.
For the live show, I will come out like Road Warrior Animal.
That's worth it.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's enough from us, especially from me. I hear my voice getting weaker as the show goes on.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to hit some music over here. I'm going to say thank you all for listening. Make sure you follows us at Necknosh LLC _ in between. Flex Me a Beer _ in between. And of course, the easiest one to remember, Craft Beer Republic, no underscores. You guys confusing me with the underscores.
It almost feels like the end of the Oregon Trail, man. Like,
Oregon.
Whatever. Dysentery.
Oregon.
We've run out of food and we all have dysentery.
speak for yourself.
Mail at craftbeerroad.com. Don't forget the live show on Friday at Pedals and Pints. Do not miss it. Submit your names, all that good stuff. 805-538-BEER 2337. I think /hope that is everything. I hope you all are staying very well hydrated.
And on that note,
good night, everybody.